Critical incident. A single event, known in CBT as a critical incident, can make us jump to feelings about the world which are hard to shake if they come with strong negative emotions. They can remain even if they're unsupported by other evidence. This is because we don't normally revisit or examine beliefs that come with such threatening emotions. Example, a single incident might make a man or woman think all black men are thugs, all Muslims are terrorists, or women bosses are difficult to work with. Chapter 3. Common Thinking Traps and How to Avoid Them. Introduction. In order to escape from the mental prisons that we can so easily build for ourselves, we look at some of the most common thinking traps that keep us unhappy and become aware of the ways in which they can perpetuate our difficulties. We will learn simple strategies to avoid common thinking errors. Relevant thinking errors to racism. Thinking error 2. Generalizing. We're drawn to patterns. Some people generalize more than others. These people require little evidence in order to deduce laws and assumptions about the way the world works. In the case of a depressed person, these tend to be downbeat. People who use the words never, always, everyone, and no one are probably vulnerable to generalization. However, in racism, he may have seen a few examples of criminal or unpleasant behavior and applied that label to a lot of people from a different race. To counter these assumptions, we need to look for exceptions to our rules. Winning once means you don't always lose, and having one friend means that not everyone hates you. Thinking error 4. Polarized or rigid thinking, black or white. It's right or it's wrong. You're a winner or loser. If it's not the best, it's rubbish. The world simply doesn't fit into classifications like that. Our classifications are always imperfect. Trying to force the world into convenient boxes seldom works, and you'll create all kinds of problems for yourself if you think like that. Polarized and dogmatic thinkers have strong moral judgments and self-evaluations, which can cause a great deal of unnecessary distress. They can also spend a lot of time trying to impose their classification system onto people, believing theirs is the only way. This leads to all sorts of bigotry, including racism. Black people are like this. Sexism. Women can't drive or can't do science. Political extremism. More flexibility is needed in the way people think. Look out for the words should, ought to, and must. This may indicate the presence of unhelpfully rigid views about the world. Thinking error 7. Filtering and magnifying. Filtering only regards information that fit in with our beliefs. Magnifying means we emphasize the information that fits in with our beliefs by exaggerating its importance and frequency. In a depressed person, that might be looking for evidence that supports a negative conclusion about yourself. In a racist person, that might be exaggerating the frequency of events and/or severity of it. We build theories of the world as we go along with our lives. Some are correct and some are incorrect. Racist person example, page 40 to 41. Imagine someone with strongly racist views reading a newspaper. On page 10 is an article reporting that the number of black youths arrested by the police in a particular district has doubled since last year. On page 13 is a story about an Asian man who ran into a burning building and rescued 2 children. Which of these 2 stories is likely to grab our racist reader's attention? How is he likely to respond when he reads that arrest rates correspond to an innovative local initiative persuading members of the community to volunteer information about teenage gang members using knives and other weapons? How will he explain the Asian man's motivation in rescuing the children? The reality is that our racist reader will probably enlist a combination of the sorts of strategies outlined below. He will discount or ignore information that does not fit with his preconceptions, thinking error 7, filtering and magnifying. He might not bother to read the article about the fire rescue at all or skim quickly through the encouraging response to the new neighborhood initiative, filtering, exaggerate elements from the reports that fit with his current views. Unbelievable. Now they've all got knives. Magnifying. No wonder crime rates in those black ghettos are soaring out of control. Explain away elements that don't fit with his beliefs as exceptions to the rule, generalizing. You can bet your life most of those P words would just have let those poor kids burn. Attribute motivations that fit with current beliefs, filtering, polarized thinking, generalizing. He probably only did it because he thought there might be a reward. Racial prejudice is an extreme case, but most of us resort to similar tactics in protecting our internal models of the world. Our assumptions and core beliefs often act as filters that block out anything that does not fit with our preconceptions. In Victor Hugo's famous novel, Les Misérables, the police inspector Javert eventually kills himself because of the unbearable conflict created in him by the altruistic and noble behavior displayed by a man branded in his own mind as a criminal. We build theories of the world as we go along with our lives. Some are correct and some are incorrect. Further conclusions seeking out media. A socialist will read socialist media. A liberal will read liberal media. A conservative will read conservative media. So far-right people read far-right media. This shows that we tend to look for media that supports our views. So as well as possibly parents and the company we keep having the potential to influence the person in this way, the media and company they keep will reaffirm their views, and they will seek out company to reaffirm their views.